All right, so sorry, we lost signal and whatnot. So we are driving now through Leesburg, Virginia. Business route is to the right. I'm going to take the bypass, which frankly, it bypasses the town. I don't know how much quicker it is. Usually when I come down this way, there's a lot of traffic, lights, and you need a bypass from the bypass. That's what you need. Yes, I love Virginia. It is a beautiful state, beautiful state. Grant says, will there be some brandy to be had on the tour? You know, while that might sound fitting, I must tell you, it's going to be 89 degrees today. Grant, for you and your fellow Australians, 89 is almost 90. And so that is hot up here in Fahrenheit land. And so I don't particularly care to be imbibing while walking in a field at about 90 degrees. So I will not be partaking. If someone else brings brandy and they want to do it, I mean, God bless them. God bless them. And we're back indeed. Indeed, Dragoon. I think it just might be a small little crowd. Usually when we lose signal and I come back on another video, it's a minuscule fraction of the people that were in the first one. Because how long can you listen to a psychopath ramble on about whatever runs through his head before you start getting either scared or bored? So, for those of you just joining us, we're in Leesburg. It's 8 o'clock and already 74 degrees, so it's going to be a hot one today. A real hot one.
Continue on Leesburg bypass for 2 miles.
I will. So this, during college, this whole area, they call it, well, it used to be, I don't know if this particular area is, but the area that my stomping grounds was the Mosby Heritage Area, but really it should be called the Matt Heritage Area, or at least it is to me. Look at this old Porsche. When was that ever an attractive car? Dragoon, I shall send my regards to those 3 regiments. Just gonna get some fresh air because I'll tell you something, it's nice out. I hope that's not too loud. If it is, let me know. I'll close the windows.
In half a mile, use the right lane to take the US 15 South ramp to Warrington.
Yeah. Grant says, so how's the 2-hour tour guide thing gonna work? What do you mean? Whatever do you mean, Grant? Oh, the 2 tour guides. Sorry, the camera was shaking. The 2 tour guide thing gonna work? I don't know. That's between Mike and Tracy. As I understand it, they're driving down together now. No doubt going over what they're going to do on the tour. Perhaps a song. I know once in a while, Tracy and Mike like to break out in a 2-part harmony while telling stories about cavalry actions. And so I don't see why they wouldn't do that here. Let's see here now. Paul says, so as the 17th was the 250th Battle of Bunker Hill, today is the big reenactment in Gloucester, Mass. And Grant says, you're not going to take over? No, I don't do tours. I don't do tours. I realized, Grant, in seeing other people prepare for the guide exam, I realized, if I did pass this test, this is before the test was given, I had the thought that if I did pass the test, I don't really know how far I would really go. Because I don't think like it's not that, okay, I could take people around and give them a tour if they don't know anything, right? But like the preparation, the research, like I'm not a preparer. And somebody was saying this the other day on the birthday show that like I do my homework. I really don't do my homework. Here's my homework. I'll give you an example. The Thursday show, we had Tony Savino on. About an hour before the show, I said I should probably Google him and see what I can find. And I found his IMDb page, and I took a couple notes. And when he got there, I just confirmed those things, and then that was it. And when we do a history show, if it's like an Ask a Guide, I'll read, usually if it's like a brigade or something, I'll read Godfrey's Brigades of Gettysburg. And that's enough. It's like a refresher. In some cases, it's all new information, but either way, that's enough to prime the pump and let the guy do the rest. So for tours, I see the amount of work that goes into these tours. And, I've been tour guide adjacent for 20 years. And I see what these guys do and how they put the work in and where in there. I'm not, for me, when to do that much research and reading out of people that are good at that prefer that solitude that reading gives you. And I do enjoy it from time to time, but if I'm going to be solitudinous, I'm going to play the piano, I'm going to paint a picture, or I'm going to stare at the window or something like that. Like I'm going to do something like that and create something. So yeah, I just don't think I would have, I'm cut out to be a guide. And that's why I don't do it. says, we all know you're a good podcast host. Thank you, Grant. That was very kind of you. Oatlands. I want to say that I want to say Sam Elliott stayed there for some. I don't know why. It wouldn't have been from Gettysburg, I don't think. I don't know where I get that idea in my head, but there you go. So we're on Route 15. This is the same one that goes up into Gettysburg and beyond, and it's part of the Journey Through Hallowed Ground. We just passed one of their signs, and that goes down, I believe, all the way to Charlottesville. I don't know if it goes further south than that. We got 28 miles until we hit Warrenton. As one of my VA routes is from the Wilderness Chancellorsville through Gordonsville to Charlottesville. Brian says, hell yeah, man. It's a great day for Gettysburg. Sir, we are in Virginia right now, heading to our tour at Brandy Station. That is where we are. We're not in Gettysburg. Although I'm sure, I don't know what the weather is. It's cloudy when I left. I think it's supposed to clear up. Grant, the drive is about 2.5 hours. Although I think it's really closer to 2. I looked at my GPS yesterday, and I might have looked at the wrong time because there might have been heavier traffic. So it said 2 hours and 38 minutes. So I left at 7:30 this morning to get there at 10. And my GPS says my ETA is 9:15. So either I'm making good time, or the GPS yesterday was incorrect for this morning's traffic conditions. But it is a beautiful drive, as you can see. We will soon get to Route 29, and there it will turn into Virginia's version of North Jersey. But you know, then eventually, once you pass Warrenton, you get out of that. And we're coming up to a roundabout, as some might say. Traffic circle, as others will say. There's a school bus food truck. That's pretty cool. I like repurposed things. Roundabout here. I guess you do a roundabout instead of a traffic light. Is that the idea? Because I'm looking at the satellite picture of it now, and it's a T section here. It's not even a full four-way intersection, so I guess it must be that, right? Yes, Dragoon. Northern Virginia has, I mean, it makes sense. It's a suburb of DC. But, you know, this area out here, and so I remember it being like, it was like the wilds of Montana. Like, it was just like nothing out here. And where we're driving now is still pretty rural. But you'll see as we get closer to Route 29, and then once we're on 29, either side of Route 29 that we'll be traveling on from when I was a kid was nothing. Like nothing. Farms and woods. And now it's townhouses, condos, neighborhoods with McMansions. You know, all that crap. And I guess they call it progress, but it ruins the beauty and splendor of this area. But it happens. This is what happens. Grant, roundabouts were like a lot of the towns in Gettysburg, the area, like for example Emmitsburg, their square, their center of town, had a roundabout, but it was very compact, very small. And I guess as automobiles, especially tractor trailers and things, got bigger, they had to get rid of the island in the middle and just make it a regular old straight through intersection. Gettysburg's roundabout is large, so you can get just about anything through there. And you should see some of the things. I got to tell you, man, people who drive trucks, like, my hat's off to you, because I've seen helicopters on flatbeds, tanks. I remember one time there was it had to be a 105 or some big artillery piece being pulled on a flatbed through town. Those modular homes I've seen being pulled through town. And, it's tricky getting it through the square, but they do get through. And, of course, it gums up the works until they do get through. But these guys are brave driving that shit around like that. But some of them are, in smaller towns, they've gotten rid of them because it isn't navigable anymore. And then in some areas, like the two that we just passed through, actually three, didn't we? We had three of them in a row there. I think they put them in, because I remember those used to be just regular old intersections. And at rush hour especially, it's a real bitch if you're trying to turn out of one, especially if you're making a left-hand turn. You'll sit there forever. So I think what they did was, instead of putting lights in, which will just slow down traffic even more, they put the roundabouts in, which was smart. So no, roundabouts have kind of fallen out. Like the old roundabouts have kind of fallen away, but they do utilize them in other ways here in the States. Bob B. This is Route 15 in Northern Virginia. And I don't know exactly. We're coming up on Woolsey. The Bull Run Mountain Estates are to my right. And we are approaching Haymarket. But the first little area we'll come to is Woolsey, which probably is nothing noticeable. So the first big intersection where there's like lots of stuff, like a Sheetz and all that stuff, is going to be Haymarket. And when we get to that intersection, I'm going to go straight through it. But if you turn left at it, that would take you to the Manassas battlefields eventually. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go straight through until we hit Route 29, which is also Route 15. And that's going to take us straight down to Brandy Station. Barbara says, we just call them circles down here. I hate them. They're scary. Yeah, that's right. Traffic circles, what we call them here. I was speaking Australian for Grant, so he knew what we were talking about. You know what's funny, Barbara? Because you're in South Jersey, right? I believe it's correct. So the thing I have noticed living in Gettysburg is the people from New Jersey cannot, for whatever reason, navigate the traffic circle.